friends, Sonia Keister here. Welcome back to my kitchen. This is where I share with you not only my recipes, but more importantly, my planning, prep, and do-ahead steps to make entertaining in your home a cinch. So today I'm going to share my second favorite crostini recipe. Last time we made the apple brie and fig jam with a homemade pesto, and the other one that I make that I often serve together is a slow roasted BLT crostini, and I kind of call it the his and her appetizer because the women tend to just love that apple brie fig jam, and the men obviously go for the BLT, but they're both just super delicious, lots of flavors. It's the slow roasting of the tomatoes that makes this crostini extra special. And that is the do-ahead step. So stick with me and I will show you how it's done. All right, let's start with what we need to make our slow roasted BLT crostini. For the ingredients, main thing is tomatoes. I like to use these baby heirloom type, but because they don't have as much moisture as a larger tomato, and so they slow roast and kind of intensify in flavor really nicely. I have about 12 ounces here. This will make enough for 4 people, roughly, for appetizer. So you need some sort of tomato. We have, I'm using butter lettuce. I just tore and cleaned a few little pieces for the crostini. Any kind of lettuce. I have a lemon. I'm going to use the zest of this. So I have, for a tool, I have a zester. If you have one of these, it's handy, or a box grater. I have shallot. I have about 2 cloves of garlic. My oven's preheating, so that was what you hear there. I have some herbed goat cheese. I'm using Boursin, any kind of herb goat cheese. Red pepper flakes. I'm going to put this with, when I slow roast the tomato, I add in the lemon, the shallot, the garlic, and honey. Honey helps caramelize the tomatoes when they're slow roasting, and then just olive oil, salt, and pepper. And I pre-cooked some nice bacon to go on top because obviously it is a BLT. If you have avocado, you could add that. I personally do like it, but not required. And some bread, because we're just going to make some crostini like we did for the other appetizer. So let me just show you quickly how I make the mixture. I'm going to toss and coat the tomatoes with the shallot, lemon, garlic, honey, basil. I think I forgot to say that. I have some dried basil, and olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then we're just going to slow roast these tomatoes in the oven on about 300 degrees for a good maybe 45 minutes. It takes a while to slow roast them, but the nice thing is while they're slow roasting, we don't have to do anything. And this can be done several days ahead. This stores nicely in the fridge, and then you just bring it back up to room temperature before you serve it. All right, so let me show you what the tomatoes look like as we pop them into the oven. Our tomatoes are on an even layer spread out on a sheet pan. They roast better this way. And I have all that yummy stuff on top, the shallot, the garlic, the honey, the olive oil, salt and pepper, some dried basil, and that's it. It's gonna, a little pinch of red pepper flakes and lemon zest. That's everything we did. We're gonna put it in a 300-degree oven and let it do its thing. Check back and we'll just go through how to assemble this delicious appetizer. All right, I pulled the tomatoes out of the oven. They cooked for about an hour. So you just want them to kind of start to shrivel up and intensify in flavor. And then the shallots and garlic and all the honey all gets kind of saturated into the tomato. It's a delicious little bite. A lot of flavor going on. So I'm about to assemble the crostini. All you need are those tomatoes, and then I also made some crostini, which is just some sliced bread drizzled with olive oil, baked on 325 for 10 to 12 minutes or until they're golden brown around the edges. So have some of those on hand, and then I have my butter lettuce that I'm going to use for the L in the BLT. Any kind of lettuce is fine. And then I had some pre-cooked bacon that I just rewarmed in the oven to make sure it's not only crispy, but you want to just take the chill off. I had it stored in the fridge. This is another do-ahead step to make pulling this crostini together even more simple. Boursin cheese is going to go on the base of the crostini, and I have just a serving platter. I would put some fresh basil on there just because I happen to have some on hand. It makes the plate look pretty. I also have some store-bought balsamic glaze. This is just from Trader Joe's. I know Whole Foods has a good one. You can make some if you got adventuresome. But that makes a nice little drizzle over the top of the plate. This is optional. Again, if you have avocado and you like avocado, that also goes nicely. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like to assemble, and that's it. Voila, we're all done. We did it. We have our slow roasted BLT crostini assembled. As you can tell, this is a messy little bite, but it's worth it. It's so good. The crunch of the bacon and then the pop of flavor that you get from those slow roasted tomatoes is just delicious. So join me here next time for another recipe and also some do ahead and planning tips for entertaining at home. Thank you. Cheers.